Live from every single headline allergic to the phrase lip boo tan.
Wait.
We're not allergic to it. Lip boo tan. It's a Businessman's Friday show here at August 8th Studios featuring analyst hole Matt Moscardi.
Yeah, I like the disappointment at the end
I'm
of that
trying to
sentence.
not misspeak. I've been misspeaking a lot this summer. I'm trying to enunciate perfectly. On today's weekly wrap-up, headline dualities, Hello Alice fights back, and stanky man babies. I don't know what any of this means.
Well, that's good because you started with lip boutan, which I'm pretty sure no one knows what that is either.
Well, yeah,
So
because the
we're
headlines
off to a good
refuse to
start.
name him. He's the Intel CEO. They refuse to print
correct.
his name. It's too scary, I guess. Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFloatAnalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power connections performance for free. And as a special incentive, if you get on that platform now, sign up.
Now.
Get your friend to sign up. You will eventually get our new, beautifully crummy, awesomely horrible zine. We're making a zine.
You know,
It's disgustingly amazing.
we did like an alpha version last week, and here's what we did.
I actually liked it. I hate most of the stuff you'd come up with.
You hate everything. Forget
Yeah.
me. It doesn't have to be.
No, but especially if you've created it.
Here's what we did. We made a white paper about
I don't know.
Wells
I still
Fargo.
don't know what that means. I don't, white paper.
It's just a
Isn't all
professional
paper
looking
white?
paper.
Most paper's
and,
white.
and it's
Yeah.
and it's the paper's mostly white. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
White paper about Wells Fargo's CEO and his giant equity grant, the implications for
to
investors,
keep working.
and
To keep working.
to keep working, and the kind of rise of the retention bonus. So we did a white paper on that. We put that out, and we did a zine, like a classic 80s, 90s underground punk fanzine. Right?
Yeah,
Like
you could print it out. You can fold it up. You can do whatever you want with it.
it's called Boardroom the Zine,
Yeah.
the official zine, and we did a story about the same thing, and I handed both out, and it turns out like people liked the zine better.
Yeah, and
they
if you're-
didn't like the white paper.
If you're going to Ani DeFranco tonight, which I know you are, she's playing all over the country. So just go and bring like a handful of zines and leave them at the door.
And hand them out.
Yeah.
Hand them out outside of the Ani DeFranco concert.
Or
It'll be
Liz
all about
Fair,
boards.
wherever you're going. I don't know. I'm dating myself, but I don't really care. Come on.
And you can get the first official version, because we did the
Yeah.
beta version, just by being on the email list for Free Flow Analytics.
All right, we've
There's-
talked too much.
No, we haven't talked too much. People need to know it's coming,
No,
and
they
they
don't.
need to
They don't care.
celebrate. Somebody
Right.
needs to celebrate something. Let's do story of the week.
Yeah,
where
let's
we won't
celebrate that.
celebrate anything.
I got a lot, so
I know I got a lot too. It's gonna be you're in for a long haul.
I'm going to try to rush through a bit of mine. So what I've done this week are headline dualities. It just happened to occur this week that I would see one headline. You'll see as I go on what it all means. I'd see one headline and then quickly I'd see another headline about the same company or situation. And I was just like, what? Like, wait, this is the same company? What's going on here? All right, let's start with the big news. And I say big news only because so I culled through headlines in our Feedly account, which looks at hundreds of different news sources. And this story just popped. Like, I don't know why.
Like everywhere.
It was everywhere. It was all over our feed. I don't actually even know why. I don't understand how the algorithm works. But oftentimes, like one story like this will have like 150 separate, headlines about it. So let's just start with this. Maybe because you also just don't see the president in a democratically elected country that purports to be super into things like free market capitalism. You don't usually see presidents calling on CEOs to resign, like Fortune 500 CEOs. It's just it didn't used to be a thing. We didn't have that kind of cancel culture like at the top like that. But the headline is Trump demands Intel CEO's resignation, says he's highly conflicted. Okay.
Okay.
And then the duality, the other part of that, the other headline is Eric and Donald Trump Jr. to own millions of shares in new U.S. manufacturing SPAC. Which also seems like a fun little conflict, but whatever.
Well, they did amend
Yeah.
the filing at the SPAC because the original filing of the SPAC, the way they worded it, they basically said, we are going I mean, they didn't say it like I'm about to say it, but this is what it effectively said in like legalese. They said, we are going to target investments using our inside knowledge of who's getting grants from the government, right? Like, I mean, he basically was saying like, we're going to invest in things that the government invests in because we know where the government's going to invest. Then they changed it to be like, we're going to invest in manufacturing and we might also look at government like investment. It was like they changed it to soften it so it didn't sound entirely conflicted, just all conflicted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we've been talking about this since we started this show. This is like the modern day Cold War, the nonsense Cold War with China. This is all about if you're Chinese, if your skin color is a little less white, I guess, because we just keep seeing this, right? Like it's okay unless China's involved, I suppose, or sometimes China's okay. I don't get when China is okay and when it's not okay, but
when it's food, it's definitely okay.
And this is the other part of the story that I love. And by the way, that's the joke. The Lip Bhutan joke is that none of the headlines dared to say his name. Is it just too much? Like, is it too overwhelming for you?
It's too many letters.
Yeah, it's just it's
a
too
hyphen
non-Anglo for you to like wrap your head around. Like it just shocked you. You made your grandmother run away in fear. I don't know what. But here's the other part of the story I love is that this is all about good old-fashioned ESG analysis and I could have picked two stories from the South about this duality too, because this comes from Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. And of course, all those states in the South they're trying to forbid anyone from doing ESG. But Matt, let me read you this. This is ESG analysis.
I love it.
The article says that Tom Cotton flagged Tan's prior investments in Chinese companies in his previous leadership at Cadence Design Systems, publicly traded company, which recently pleaded guilty to unlawfully selling its tech to a blacklisted military university in China, blah, 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 blah. But this is just good old-fashioned ESG analysis.
That's G.
This is
plain old G.
But this is why it's important work. And in this case, it's very political. But it doesn't always have to be political. It's just citing potential risks. You know, maybe you don't want your CEOs dealing with China or Ukraine or I don't know. I don't know what you care about. But anyway, this is the big story. Trump wants the Intel CEO to resign. And ironically, we used to have an inside joke here that if we make fun of you, something else is going to happen. Last week we were making fun of the Intel CEO because Jim Cramer, the genius over at CNBC, was saying that the Intel CEO totally understands everything.
Everything, yeah.
And I thought that was just a silly. Yeah. And then next week, and now they're trying to get him to step down. Remember, we also reported earlier this year that he got a golden hello at Intel that might be worth up to $400 million. So there's just a lot going on with Intel this year.
More than that.
Yeah.
One of the things that there is a lot going on with Intel, but I like that the kickoff to focus on Intel by Trump was a letter Tom Cotton, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, sent.
One of your heroes.
Long time. Yeah. I have a plaque. Sent to Intel, flagging his leadership at Cadence, doing ESG analysis. Arkansas has banned ESG analysis. So I'm pretty sure
right?
that Tom Cotton needs to go to jail.
Yeah,
like he should be jailed or censured because he just did ESG analysis. So adding to the confusion here is the method that Trump and Tom Cotton have used to call out Intel's CEO has been banned by Trump and Arkansas.
I feel dirty about what they've done. And where were you before, Tom? What took you so long? He was hired in the winter. They already had a meeting in May. What took you so long to dig this stuff up? And you know what also made me chuckle is I used to, when I used to work for GMI Ratings before MSCI bought it, I used to post articles on Business Insider. And I remember one of my articles being about Cadence Design Systems. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but it was some kind of related party transaction like this. And that's why I felt proud of Tom Cotton. He's an ESG analyst now. We're both the same.
We're all ESG analysts.
Yeah. Except I live in New England and I can't be arrested for doing ESG, but he should be.
Not yet.
That's the top story. Number two, another one which I didn't want to talk about, but I felt
I'm
like
not going to talk about
I just had to because it was again this other story. I don't know because a sexy lady was involved, or because it was about woke culture, or because Trump was involved. But these are all the things that people love, right? These are the three things that our culture can't quit. So this has also been a huge story in our feed this week, and we both of us we happily avoided it on Tuesday, but here I am capturing it. Shares of American Eagle surge 20% after Trump calls Sydney Sweeney campaign hottest ad out there.
Yeah.
And the duality headline is this: Epstein victims are a growing political threat to Trump. Now, what's crazy about this story is that it's about like a scantily clad young blonde woman.
Sure.
He's saying how hot she is. He loves her because she's anti-woke. She's a Republican.
Yeah, sure.
She's doing an anti-woke ad because the ad is here's the ad that's pissing people off. She says in the ad, genes, 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 like genes, that you learn in genetics. You know what they are. You went to biology class. Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color. My genes.
Oh, thank God
blue.
You actually gave me the definition.
Geans. Anyway, it's like a Nazi gene pun. People are getting mad at it. That's the. But again, the whole Epstein story, which is also going on, is all about, sickeningly all about young blonde women that Epstein was like selling to CEOs and billionaires. So anyway, I thought that was a crazy duality headline right there. And here's the reason why I wanted to talk about this is that as I was thinking about American Eagle, we don't talk about American Eagle a lot, but my hunch was, just like your hunch when we covered the Figma IPO earlier this week, your hunch was that it was basically a dopey college dropout. Who's already a billionaire for creating a company that doesn't benefit humanity at all. My sense about American Eagle was like, this is probably some kind of a dictatorship. And I say that D-I-C-K. Dick. Yeah. We should coin that, by the way.
We already did. My daughter brought a sign to a rally that said that.
And I was right. Let me tell you a little bit about American Eagle because I'm doing my Tom Cotton ESG analysis right here. American Eagle's gender influence gap is minus 36%, which is massive. That's because it's controlled by Jay Schottenstein. Matt, Jay has been CEO of this company at least 3 times, dating back to 1992. Yeah. He's boomeranged back a couple of times. He's been the chair since, he's been a director since the 80s. He also has I'm giving you all the hallmarks now of a dictatorship that we like to cover. He also has a creepy Nepo baby son. I was reading in the New York Post about, there's a headline about how the grown son of an Ohio billionaire is a hooker-loving drug addict who threatened to destroy a Stanford-educated Manhattan psychiatrist. He also said that the Nepo baby was gambling away millions of dollars during trips to Las Vegas. Anyway, a creepy Nepo baby is good also genes. Part of...
You're saying he's got good genes.
Yeah, exactly. He's got great genes. And let me tell you about these genes. These genes control the holding company that owns American Eagle called SB360 Capital Partners. I went to their website. This is owned by Jay and his 3 sons. Sorry, wife, mother. She's not a part of this ownership. It's just Jay and the 3 sons. This is the CEO and chair of American Eagle that put out the Sydney Sweeney ad. I looked at all the listed executives at SB360, Matt. It's 13 listed executives. They're all white men. You don't see that. That's refreshing. You don't see that much these days.
Finally.
Woke culture is dead. Other hallmarks of the dictatorship that we love. You couldn't even vote. The last time you could vote on CEO Jay was 2023 because they have a stupid classified board structure.
Of course.
He's the CEO and he's the chair. I already said that. He gets $300,000 in security benefits because they love being, they feel like the world's out to get them. I don't even know who would recognize this guy. I don't know why he needs security. Matt, he has a 2011 to 1 CEO pay ratio. That's one of the highest we've ever seen behind the Starbucks CEO. That's the
meritocracy.
That's a great dictatorship moment right there. He owns 7% of company shares, which is pretty massive for a company this big. He has 71% of board influence, according to freeflowanalytics.com. There's a bunch of other stuff. He's also surrounded by long tenured directors on his board
shocked.
in leadership
What?
positions who do all his bidding for him. Anyway, that's the dictatorship that controls American Eagle, that's putting out ads of Sydney Sweeney doing kind of corny, like Nazi genetic jokes. And
So there was a New York Times article yesterday
Go ahead.
about the calls of the ad campaign being like Nazi dog whistle and all that stuff was actually like 3 people on TikTok saying like, "Hey, I don't like this. It's kind of Nazi."
Yeah.
And
that's how the media works, though, Matt. Now
there was like a collective eye roll from everybody. Like nobody cares. And it turns out the conservatives in the United States were arguing. They were arguing that there was this big backlash and against a beautiful woman making a pun, and that it was liberal extremists and whatever.
I mean, I barely know what American Eagle is. Yeah.
It was like 3 guys.
Yeah.
And the second big thing to mention is, does anyone shop at American Eagle?
I barely know what American Eagle is. I don't know why the president of the United States is weighing in on a young blonde model. The whole thing is creepy.
Which gets you back to the Epstein thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and the dictatorship of American Eagle. Yeah.
Anytime you post about someone young who looks underage being hot and you're in the Epstein files is probably not a good look. It's just generally not a good look. Generally.
Yeah. And the other reason why I seize on this is that he's all happy because Sydney Sweeney's a registered Republican in Florida, and for some reason he also has to get into his like misogynistic rant, and he was calling out Taylor Swift for sucking. And I was just laughing to myself of
like having nothing to do.
I can't think of a single music, like a pop star since the Beatles who sucks less than Taylor Swift. I'm not talking about the music. I'm talking about a business empire that still blows my mind. Like
they have done actual economic studies that show that she by herself moved GDP.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm like, wait, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into the mind of Donald Trump, but that's the second story of the week, which I'm sure everyone's heard.
Story. I'm not choosing it as a story of the week. I don't want to talk about it.
Speaking of the New York Times, here's another duality headline story of the week. This is kind of a good old-fashioned one. First, the New York Times. I saw these 2 headlines like almost back to back. First, the New York Times had a horrible article: Uber's sexual assault problem.
That's been 10 years.
There's new reporting. There's a New York Times investigation. From 2017 to 2022, the company received over 400,000 reports of sexual assault or misconduct just in the United States, which averages to about 1 incident every 8 minutes, according to the New York Times. Uber studied the issue and even developed potential safety features like in-car cameras and a feature to match female drivers with female passengers, but the company chose not to implement these safeguards because they were concerned about their bottom line and potential lawsuits. A few moments later, I see this headline, Matt. Uber beats on revenue, announces $20 billion stock buyback.
Finally.
$20 billion they're spending
finally getting that
to buy their own shares instead of implementing safety features to deal with Uber's sexual assault problem.
They can't do the safety features. You don't understand. They have to spend the money somehow, and they can't do the safety features because if they did, they would have to ask their workers who are they're independent contractors.
Right, they're not even really workers, are they? What are they?
They're not actually their employees.
It's mysterious.
Come on. They're not. They don't even work for them. They would have to demand that those workers that aren't their workers do something which looks a lot like they're your employees. So that would be a problem because then they'd have to recognize that they actually work as workers for Uber, which they're not going to do. So if you're not going to spend the money on that, then let the sexual assaults happen and just buy back some shares and no one will notice.
$20 billion that they could be investing in their employees. They could be making these drivers workers.
Your headlines today.
I'm just following the news. And finally, this is kind of a good old fashioned one because we cover Elon Musk a lot. It's kind of hard not to. But the big story at the beginning of the week which we again, I think, skipped over in our Tuesday show because I think we're just sick of this maniac. Tesla grants Musk $29 billion in stock to keep Elon's energies focused. Maybe you did actually. We did cover this already.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it on Tuesday.
But that was earlier this week. $29 billion to one individual. And now let's play the duality game with this headline, although it's harder for me. I couldn't just pick one headline to offset this headline. So I picked a few of the headlines that also popped in our feed, just this week. Remember, all of these Friday shows that we cover only cover the calendar week from the previous Friday. We're not digging back to try to make these stories look different. We're just covering current news. And I will say, unlike every other ESG research company on the planet, I think we are the only ones to cover news as it happens day by day, week by week. Wouldn't you say? We're the only ones committed to consistently covering news as it breaks. We don't have a legal department that makes us wait for 6 months before we weigh in on something because it might offend someone somewhere.
Yeah. You know why I would say that? Because that's why people don't buy anything from us.
Right. Because I know that because we comment on stuff. Because we work too hard.
We say things out loud based on evidence and data. Yeah.
All right. So here's the duality headline for for Elon Musk's $29 billion pay package. These are just headlines from this week. Elon Musk accused of stiffing small businesses for millions of dollars, causing some to file for bankruptcy. Elon Musk shares shockingly sexist tweet about women being property. This one's disgraceful even for Musk. This will open the floodgates. Tesla in trouble as jury orders it to pay $329 million after autopilot death. Tesla withheld data, lied, and misdirected police and plaintiffs to avoid blame in autopilot crash. And finally, Elon Musk appears to now be the most hated person in America, according to new research. I could have told you that one. Yeah, I like that last one though.
I like that you needed.
That's a Gallup
research.
poll. That's a Gallup poll.
I love that you needed research.
It's a headline. I didn't go looking for this. It's just a headline that was tagged in our Feedly. This is your CEO, people. This is your. Yeah. Congratulations, board at Tesla. This is the guy you're propping
board.
up.
That's correct.
Yeah.
This is the board. So you're saying my options for the story of the week this week are Trump
he wants
demanding Intel CEO resign while being involved in a obvious naked conflict of interest himself, saying that guy has a conflict, but not I have a conflict.
Don't you love that we're also all the college dropouts in Silicon Valley are super concerned, dude, that the AI and tech they're working on is going to destroy the planet, and instead of working with other countries like China, right, and the EU, we're busy fighting them in a capitalistic urge to get more wealthy and buy more property in Hawaii. That's what we're doing. And why are we competing if we're worried that the tech is going to destroy the earth? Why aren't we working together to? Why is China? Why are we? I just don't get the whole China thing. I think why we're threatened by China. I don't get it at all.
I think everybody who's threatened by China needs to get like really good Szechuan.
Everyone in the Fortune 500 sells to China constantly.
What do we hate about this country?
Why can we sell to them constantly?
Fabulous.
Why are they manufacturing most of our goods? Why do we? I just anyway.
My second option is
sorry.
American Eagle ad versus Epstein victims.
Well, look, I mean, this is the news.
Uber's sexual assault versus Uber's share buybacks.
I don't like that one. That one pisses me off.
And Tesla's $29 billion drop on Elon versus
all
basically everything Elon does wrong at every moment. We'll just end with he's the most hated person in America. Research shows.
And the richest person in the world. Whatever that means.
We're like 25 minutes in. I'm already.
I'm sorry.
Need to collapse.
Some news weeks are just a bit more, plump.
I'm gonna go with the Intel.
Yeah,
and I mean that seems obviously
a U.S. president is calling for a CEO to resign. It's a little weird.
No, it's the hypocrisy of saying that guy is conflicted.
He's conflicted.
When he's literally the most conflicted person we've ever had in government ever
Yeah.
in the history.
Well-
He's launching crypto tokens and memes. He's got his own line. He's True Social. He's got
He
his
just
own
had the
phone.
Tesla
He's-
CEO in the government gathering data gathering government data for his own purposes. How is that now conflicted? And people, hello, and Trump, the Intel CEO has passed all the proper mechanisms. The board supports him. His shareholders support him. So what how can we call him out, right?
All I'm saying, when you juxtapose that against his sons basically benefiting directly from U.S. grants to manufacturers, right? Like personally benefiting with shares. There's nothing more conflicted than that. That's got to be the easy. But the other ones, I can't choose the other ones, mostly because they make me angry. Can we do something good? Let's do something good.
Yeah,
now.
do a good Leas.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I have 2 old-fashioned ones here that'll make you feel better. Maybe.
So tired.
I'll go quickly and then hand it off to you because I have some like old-fashioned good list. Waste. This is ice cream waste. I didn't know there was ice cream waste. Ice cream waste from Ben and Jerry's ice cream factories in Vermont are now powering the Vermont grid. They're taking ice cream waste and they're turning it into energy.
Okay, can you back up and explain what they're turning into energy? I don't have any idea.
So I guess what happens when this article was claiming that when they have a new flavor, they need to like pump out all the old ice cream juice from the vat. No, I'm serious. They got to get rid of all of it to clean it out so it doesn't wreck the new flavor. And that becomes waste, and that waste is directly. They have a new pipes on the premises, and it goes to a company that turns it into biogas, which is also saving the environment a little bit because that waste used to get loaded in these huge trucks, and it was trucked away somewhere and put in some weird Vermont like ice cream landfill. But now it's actually being turned into fuel.
So we're talking about chunky, shitty milk.
Yes. With probably some like Reese's Pieces bits and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that one though. I want to be in one of the Vermont houses that is getting powered by that ice cream.
I want
waste.
that just to come just to my house. I want all my power to be from chunky milk.
And then the other old fashioned goodliest is the Gates Foundation. The Gates Foundation is giving $2.5 billion. So this is a way to spend money, not just give it to Elon Musk or to buy back your shares, is giving $2 billion to fund women's health research.
I hate this. What? I don't think it's the purview of billionaires to choose what gets researched and what doesn't.
I hear you.
This is a social good.
I get
and the
you.
only reason why we like this is because our government has decided to offer zero social goods
Don't crap
anymore.
on my
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
In this administration, this is an important headline. Go ahead.
Here are my 2.
Yeah.
The headline for this one is Musk, Bezos, and Zuck are going full alpha male. America's girl bosses are fed up.
Good. This is why I love doing this show. We like to highlight female leadership. Yeah.
Now, I know it's not like a good thing happened per se, but here's why I like it.
Fighting back is a good thing.
We've got basically companies are all doing return to office, no more work from home policies. Here's some quotes from here's the quote that I like. This is the greatest backlash. Because the flexibility that parents had to work from home is being taken away. The article suggests that people are being more entrepreneurial. So the greatest backlash here is if every woman who's in like a company that's got this new masculine default founder mode, 13-year-old man baby culture,
that's a lot of
where
companies.
Where Jamie Dimon says and John Stankey writes a memo about how you got to go back to the which we'll get to in Assholiest. You got to go back to the office or you're out. The article points out that women are basically starting their own companies. They're like, fuck you.
Great.
I'm just going to start a company. So to me, it's not them going alpha male.
The men are doing it.
The unintended consequence of going like intensity, founder mode, alpha male is women are like, we are going to literally build our way out of this.
Look, I mean, this is why
I love it.
This is why I cited the dictatorship at American Eagle. I mean, this is it's run by a holding company that is run by a man and at least one of his 3 horrible sons, and it's all the executives are men. So it's like, Why not?
I love
Why not?
this.
All right. What else
And
you
there's
got?
a side note, because in this article, there's a quote from a January FT article that
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Maybe we hit it, but we didn't cover it. But it was post Zuck on Joe Rogan talking about masculine energy. Companies need to reclaim their masculine energy. They quoted a banker in it, an anonymous banker.
A top banker, it says.
A top
What does that
banker.
mean, a top banker?
Somebody who's on top of the bank.
Good
who
at
does the
Connect
banking.
4? Like, what is that? What makes them top? Yeah.
He said, quote, "I feel liberated." It has to be the assholiest quote of the decade.
So can we just start breaking it down from that first part of that phrase? So he was feeling fettered before. He was feeling tied up and jailed before this moment.
Yep.
A top banker, a male top banker in
top
America
banker
was
in
feeling
America, making top money as a
feeling
top banker.
tied down.
Was feeling tied down.
Yeah, metaphorically. Now he's liberated.
And he's anonymous, so that comes into like he feels liberated now
because he knows that his children might read this and he doesn't want to be an asshole.
He gave a quote anonymously.
Yeah, what a jerk. Yeah.
I feel liberated, said a top banker. Quote, "We can say retard and pussy without the fear of getting canceled. It's a new dawn."
Right, but first of all, don't say we. Just say I, because I'm not part of your we, your collective we.
Is there any more like that? Might be the assholiest
and
quote.
Second, I got two other things
decade.
to say. Well, I don't know why anyone needs to say retard and pussy. Second of all, and third of all, whoever got canceled. What, Matt? Find me a top banker anywhere in America. Find me a single board director who ever got canceled for saying retard or pussy. Where is this cancel culture that people talk about? Who has been canceled?
All I know is I love the juxtaposition of this guy. So, like, Jamie Dimon says, no more working from home. You're all lazy assholes. Come back to the office. And the women in the office are like, you're taking away flexibility that we already are the primary, caregivers at home. And we're working full-time jobs because of stagnant wages for, the last 50 years in this country. Our liberation has actually put us in chains where we now all have to work and I have to do all the work at home too. They're like, fuck you. I'm going to go start my own company so that the liberated top banker can't call me a pussy at the office without getting fired. But what a world. I love it. I love that. And my second option here, I got a second one.
Yeah.
And this one's easy. I already talked about it on Tuesday.
Go ahead.
The headline was a long-running anti-DEI lawsuit could help companies defend themselves from reverse racism claims. It's about Hello Alice, the company. They are fighting back against Stephen Miller's law firm.
Elizabeth Gore. Elizabeth Gore is her name.
Elizabeth Gore is one of the co-founders of the company. She's quoted in the article, and she's fighting against fake Nazi man boys who are basically claiming that a white guy is not getting the opportunity because they gave a $25,000 grant to a black entrepreneur program through Progressive.
Matt, she thought that when she got that lawsuit in her email, she rightfully thought it was spam. She was like, this is a joke.
She thought it was a spam.
Which it is.
It was
Elizabeth,
clickbait.
it is a joke.
So the good latest thing here is Hello Alice is winning. They're setting a template for people to win against these ridiculous reverse racism claims.
How do we vote on this one? I would vote for that one. A fighting back in this realm. Right? I mean, we gotta support fighting back.
Both are effective versions of fighting back. Where if women are leaving their toxic masculine workplaces and started their own companies as a backlash, and Hello Alice is saying, you can't sue me for bullshit. I will fight you till the end. Congratulations to all of them. Everybody doing it. I love it.
Anyone fighting back, yeah.
All right, now we got to do assholes though.
Okay, I'm gonna shut my mic off.
You might want to shut your brain off.
I'm gonna shut my headphones off.
All right, I'm gonna give you the three options up top,
okay.
And then we can go into details. So that might make it go faster. Number one option, Alex Karp.
Yeah, we
CEO.
talked about him in Nuggets this week. We joked about him.
Alex Karp and all of the men who went to elite universities and say elite universities are bullshit.
Yeah,
the man babies who say that.
My favorite recently was Ron DeSantis, the horrible governor of Florida, who he went to like a couple of Ivy Leagues,
So,
at least
yeah,
one.
all the Ivy Leagues.
He's all set. He hates them. Yeah.
John Stankey, the
Okay.
CEO of
We
AT&T.
don't talk about him a lot. That's a great name. I love that name.
It's the re-rise of the Jack Welch, like, hate your employees, fire them
guy.
all,
Yeah.
man directive, man babies. He wrote a memo to his employees, which I have all these translations for in the doc that we can go through. Maybe I'll just do a highlight one. But he basically tells his employees that you had an engagement survey. You said, we suck. It's your fault we suck. Show up or get out. Like, that's the short version
okay.
of like his 1,200 word memo or whatever. And number 3, Louis von Ahn.
I don't know who that is.
He's the CEO of Duolingo.
Really?
You know, the app you learn languages.
Are they
you know,
a
Duolingo?
publicly traded company? I'm not even aware.
They're not. I don't believe they are. And he did a classic man baby, sorry, not sorry. We were just being edgy. But no, seriously, I know what's best for you. Man baby version of an apology.
Wait, this is a news story? I thought this happened like a few months ago.
He just came out and said the headline was Duolingo's CEO says he learned a hard lesson about edgy posts and going viral.
By the way,
didn't say he learned a lesson about what he said. He said, I learned edgy posts that go viral can be damaging.
By the way,
that's the way he framed it.
Duolingo is, in fact, in the database FreeFlow Analytics.com. They are.
So it is publicly traded.
Yeah.
Good. Then he's so those are going to be your 3 options. Now I'll tell you a little bit why, and you already know a little bit. Alex Karp, the headline for Alex Karp is Palantir CEO says working at his $430 billion software company is better than a degree from Harvard or Yale. No one cares about the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't even really follow what that means.
Karp went to
How do you
Haverford,
quantify better anyway? Yeah, Haverford.
Haverford College, which is a private, expensive, elite institution. It's not Harvard, Haverford.
Tuition and fees is close to $100,000 a year.
Then he went to Stanford to get his JD,
which
where
is
he
as
met
elite
Peter
as
Thiel.
I will. Okay, Alex Karp. Here's where I'll agree with you. Technically, Stanford is not Harvard or Yale.
But, that's true.
I think
he has us there.
But I think you're technically referring to the elite universities in America, which includes, of course, Stanford, which is
Stanford,
often
100%
often listed as maybe the best.
So, and Peter Thiel, who went to Stanford, is the like one of the techno man baby backers everywhere. He's like the thing. Right?
He's the guy. Remember that you had a metaphor, an analogy you gave back in the day that didn't you call Zuck his incubated goose or something?
Yeah, because
incubated goose.
Geese implant on the first person, like when they hit when they're born, they implant on the first thing that they meet, not their parent, right? And Peter Thiel was the first VC who told Zuck he was a future god, and that was it for Zuck. He was basically the mentor forever. But just to be clear, Karp introduced at Palantir something called the Meritocracy Fellowship, which is a paid internship for high school graduates who don't necessarily want to go right to college. The program is supposed to be just about merit, but just in case you were worried, merit is they needed Ivy League level test scores, including more than a 1460 on the SAT or a 33 on the ACT, and they had to be in the 98th percentile of all test takers.
That doesn't sound elite.
Like, literally, you turned Palantir into an Ivy League institution. You're like, you did the same thing. That's what you're supposed to hate about them.
The good news is, as parents know, that the modern generation of parenting, Matt, is that you can game the system anyway. You can pay your way to basically high test scores. So maybe that's what he's referring to. Just kind of pay your way up.
Look, there are a million shortcomings with like elite colleges. Mostly it's they exude this exclusivity as a commodity. It's
mostly it's the parents of the kids who go there.
It's not real. The income inequalities are vast, the whole thing. But it's pretty rich for a guy who went to Stanford and the reason why he's a founder today is because he met the guy who eventually funded him at the elite institution he went to. for him to talk about how bullshit elite
Yeah,
institutions
it reminds
are.
me of
Get over yourself.
It reminds me of U.S. President Donald Trump yelling at Lip Bhutan, the CEO of Intel, for being conflicted.
Yeah, it feels a little like that.
Yeah.
The other one was John Stankey, CEO of AT&T.
Now we're talking.
Now, let me ask you something. When you think of tech innovation, AT&T's top 3, right?
Yeah, definitely. They make a really amazing and greasy payphone, right? Isn't that what they do? They make payphones.
They make payphones where usually
And
they
modems.
smell a little like urine.
Dial-up modems. They're really good at that too, right?
I mean,
what do they
AT&T
do? What do they still do?
Has not been linked to
They
innovation.
lay wire. They lay the wire.
In 100 years.
No,
like,
of course not.
But John Stankey wrote a memo to his employees responding after they had an internal engagement survey, which very ESG thing to do an engagement survey, figure out what your employees' problems are and what they like and what they don't like, right?
Or at least try to interpret all the kiss-ass lying that comes back in this, because they're afraid you're going to get fired if you actually say your point of view. But I
I'm sure they didn't say it. It's supposed to be anonymous, but whenever someone says something they don't like.
Whenever corporate tells you something's anonymous, the first reaction is, of course, this is not anonymous.
You said it's anonymous, I know it's not anonymous. He said he was encouraged that 73% of the employees took the time to respond. 79% felt committed and engaged at their work. It was a drop from the last time they did the survey. And he says, quote, "It wasn't a surprise to me that we fell short of our engagement goal," which is if I'm translating that, is just, I'm not surprised you think we suck more, right? Like, he's been there for 5 years and they suck more now than when he started.
Oh, really? Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to basically, he wants you to hold your breath because he's going to tell you why it's you that suck. It's your fault, not his fault. He says, quote, "This note may also help you identify areas where your professional expectations might be misaligned with the strategic direction of this company." So he says, we didn't hit our engagement. We dropped on our engagement. But this is where your expectations are wrong, and that's why we dropped. It's your fault that we dropped. It's really fabulous.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a chance to basically say, I hear you loud and clear, you said I suck, but really, it's you that sucks, and let me tell you how. You're off to a good start in your memo.
This is the guy who has so much control that not only is he the CEO, but he chairs his oversight board that looks at his work. He's the chair of the board. So But the buck doesn't stop with him.
But it's not his fault.
It stops with
their
Linda
fault.
and Gus, who work on the 12th floor.
He goes on to basically say the old company was rooted in a, quote, employment deal, which focused on loyalty and tenure and conformance.
Oh, how dare they, yeah.
And the new company we've shifted away from is a, quote, market-based culture focused on rewarding capability, contribution, and commitment.
Wait, what?
So loyalty and commitment are the exact same thing. I just want to...
We're so deep into corporate gobbledygook here that I'm starting to glaze over with this guy.
He basically said, we're a meritocracy now. So we're a manly meritocracy.
Yeah.
So,
but what I'm hearing is he's kind of floundering because it's, as you said, the company's not doing as well, and he's looking for a scapegoat.
Yes. Well,
and his people.
He has a scapegoat. It's
employees.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the scapegoat.
Yes.
So he's not really looking. This is the cherry on the top of this memo where he says, quote, I'm going to read this full section. Quote, "I understand that many may find the demands of your daily lives challenging and difficult. Elder care, job stress, child rearing challenges." Okay, so elder care and child rearing challenges. Who does those things?
Primarily women.
It's just women.
Yeah.
It's just women, right? Economic uncertainty, community unrest, technology anxiety. The list can get long. We run a dynamic customer-facing business tackling large-scale challenging initiatives. If the requirements dictated by this dynamic do not align to your personal desires, you have every right to find a career opportunity that is suitable to your aspirations and needs.
Love it or leave it. I love this.
That said,
Yeah.
if a self-directed virtual or hybrid work schedule is essential for you to manage your career aspirations and life challenges, ladies, you will have a difficult time aligning your priorities with those of the company and the culture we
What?
aim to
He said this?
establish.
He said
Translation.
Yeah.
We know your life is hard, ladies, but shut the fuck up and show up because I don't care.
Wow, this is
Really nice.
This is some tough talk. Yeah, this is some good MAGA tough talk.
It's man talk.
Yeah, this is
It's
man talk.
time, baby.
This is
man time.
This is retard and pussy talk. This is real top banker man talk.
Top banker, retard, pussy talk. But let me tell you something. Remember, we are talking about AT&T.
Yeah, I still don't even really know what AT&T does. I mean,
There's a cell phone company where you get the shittiest reception everywhere you go.
But I was going to say, I was just thinking, like, whenever like it comes up, like, you know, your friends are like, which cell phone carrier do you? No one even mentions AT&T anymore. I kind of forget that they even exist. Who would want to use AT&T anyway?
What are we
Even
doing?
the point here. It's not even the point. Even,
What are we doing?
Anything outside of horrible Stanky?
Yeah, where's the fucking board?
Well,
like, Bill Kennard's the lead independent director. He's got 13 connection loops to other directors there. He's been there for 11 years. He's an undergrad in communications from Stanford. He worked at the FCC and he's been a U.S. ambassador. How is it that John Stankey cannot communicate to his employees without offending every one of them?
But
when you have someone on the board whose job is communications.
But here's where here's where they're a winner, because they have like my new favorite, like one of my new favorite like retread directors. It's Marissa Mayer. You know, she used to be the
she is just
CEO of
joined,
Yahoo. She's now on some of the biggest and greatest boards. She's on AT&T, Hilton, Walmart, and Starbucks, my favorite. I mean, so if she's involved, there's good things
Maybe
happening.
this thing isn't for you, Melissa. Maybe it's time for you to call it a career.
Marissa, come on.
Marissa, sorry. But look, you have luminaries, supposed luminaries, including Mike McAllister, who was the Humana CEO, the health insurance company, who was investigated for duping elderly people into thinking Obamacare would cut Medicare. You have Scott Ford, who his prior job was leading the biggest landline company in the United States. He pivoted out of that personally into selling coffee. That's your future tech guy on the board?
That's a smart thing. People love coffee, Matt.
That's true. It's too bad you can't deliver it via a landline.
I love that they even have two people from the Ford board. They have the independent lead director Bill Kennard and Beth Mooney. They got two people from Ford.
Yeah, well,
everyone.
I mean, because Ford has been an innovation pioneer for the last 30 years. Whenever we think
last
innovation,
30 years, you're talking about from 1962 to
I'm just saying, John Stankey, what a fucking asshole! Shove your
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Man talk up your asshole
Top
ass.
banker
And I hope
man talk. Yeah.
every one of you women who got this memo at AT&T just quit en masse.
Come work
Go
for
start
us.
a company.
Yeah.
Start a fucking wireless carrier to challenge AT&T. You know how it works. Start another wireless carrier. It cannot be worse than what AT&T does.
Write a section for our zine. All right, come on. Who else you got? This is getting slow.
Finally, Louis Von On, the Duolingo CEO, which I already said, he learned a hard lesson about edgy posts. Here's what he actually posted. First, he said, Duolingo, this is an app for learning languages, would be an AI-first company. Then he said they're not hiring people anymore because they think everything can be done by AI. Then he went on to say that schools will be converted to just childcare centers with AI teachers.
That's right. I remember this, yeah.
And said that the teachers will just, quote, take care of the children.
Yeah.
And that we wouldn't need the school to be anything except a building for childcare. And then in his apology for saying that, because there was this is a learning app who's shitting on teachers.
Yeah.
The backlash was immediate.
Of course.
And his apology was sorry for being edgy. And they pulled down all their social media accounts. It wasn't you being edgy. It was you being an asshole. You're an asshole.
At least he did graduate from college. He did graduate from Duke. Let me just say this though, this guy is so strong in his convictions as being a strong man that his shares at Duolingo are worth 20 votes per share.
Wow,
this is how tough he is. He's so tough that he doesn't even let his own board or his own investors have a say in how he runs his company because he's a tough guy.
It is fairly amazing.
He's
Alex
a tough
Karp and Louis Van On for tough guys, he's talking about shitty elite colleges and your shitty problems, and you should do what we say. They did manage to insulate themselves pretty well with dual class shares. They can't get deposed.
Can I have one sidebar on Duolingo? Because I hate this guy and I hate Duolingo. And I hate his fight against teachers. So in 7th grade, we lived in the country of France. We enrolled in a small town, mind you, not like an elite place with high.
I was going to say, you're starting
types.
to sound a little elitist. Yeah.
We sent our daughter to the public school, 7th grade. She did not know a single word of French. She was, rightfully a little bit terrified. Mm-hmm. And without the help of Duolingo at all, when after that 1 year, she became fluent in the language of French.
French.
Because of her great teachers. And again, this is just a simple school. Yeah. So Duolingo is a joke. If you want to learn the language, go speak to people who speak that language.
It turns out,
you don't need this crummy app. Believe me.
My daughter spent like 4 months on Duolingo before going to Spain, where she is now. It sounds elitist, but she's with friends of ours that we've known for 30 years. And she got there and she was like, I don't know any fucking Spanish.
Matt, she would have been better off turning on her interweb machine and like finding a friend on Zoom who speaks Spanish and just spend an hour a day together. Yeah, that's it. You don't need Louis Von On for anything, honestly.
So Alex Karp, John Stankey, Louis Von On, those are your options.
Woo. This is an easy one for me. Do you know where I'm going on this one?
I mean, I think we've already talked about Stankey. And I think he should be it, but I don't think you're going to choose him.
Really? You don't think I'm going to choose him? Who do you think I'm going to choose?
Alex Karp, I think is
three good
too
ones.
Boring.
Yeah.
He's been saying this stuff all the time.
These are three good
Louis
ones.
Von On, I feel like triggered you in a real way because he shit on teachers. And my mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
Your parents are teacher librarians, right?
That's true. Yeah. But the only
I would have guessed
and
that.
He's one of these 20 votes per share jerks.
Yeah, everything.
But here's the only problem with that, though, is that the Duolingo story has been lingering for a while.
It happened over a couple
Some
months.
of the stuff you reported happened a few months ago. But the John Stankey thing is fresh, and I love his name.
Yeah.
I love that it's AT&T. There's so many corporate governance threads for us to look at with AT&T. They have such a great network board. It's a bunch of bullshit. And that memo is, you rightfully kind of focused on the attack on gender in that memo. That's the important takeaway. So I have to say John Stankey. I have to.
That's probably true.
We don't need
John Stankey,
we don't need this type of leadership, John Stankey. And if your board actually had a chair that wasn't also you, John Stankey, maybe they'd fight back and be like, "You're embarrassing us. This is an embarrassing memo. It makes us look like."
But Damien, he's got
assholes.
a lead independent director.
Okay.
He's independent.
Are we going to finish this show?
Headlines, winners, predictions.
I think we might get out of here under an hour.
Let's get out of here. We move fast now.
I'll go first. Headline is of the week: shareholders judge directors by their faces.
I like that.
How simple.
That's true.
How simple.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, mine, I wish it was just a headline, but it was more what it made me think. And it was Trump calls for Intel CEO to resign immediately. And I picked it because it is the headline of the week. Like, there's no doubt.
Everywhere. It's everywhere.
But I did realize there's more ESG analysis there that could be done because nobody recognized that like BlackRock's ex-founder is on the board of Intel. Don't they hate BlackRock? Right?
Yep.
Like
everyone hates
there's
BlackRock.
all sorts of there's Jack Dorsey Square. Like we don't like Jack Dorsey because he's like a yogi who was ruining Twitter before Elon took it over. Right? Like so do more ESG analysis on it. But that's definitely the headline of the week. Who's your winner?
Right. My winner is a little bit odd, but this is one, I've talked about her before. She's one of my favorites. Talk about effective female leadership. The great city of Boston, Massachusetts. Their mayor is Michelle Wu. There's a article in the Boston Globe about how she's calling out the billionaire Kraft family regarding a new stadium proposed for the soccer team, the New England Revolution. And she says, to this day, the Kraft Group has provided the city no meaningful technical information. What we've heard has stayed at a conceptual level and is insufficient for any serious negotiation. So the Kraft Group is offering a $750,000 mitigation fee to deal with the nightmare of infrastructure that happens when you build a big stadium.
$750,000.
Yes, and the package offered when they built the casino in Everett was $68 million mitigation package was given to the city of Boston. The billionaire Kraft family, which does dopey things like have football teams where they're just giving people CTE, is offering $750,000. So she rightfully called him out, went right to it, said this is an unserious proposal, which I love. But then she also took a shot at the son, speaking of Nepo babies, the son of Robert Kraft, Josh Kraft, who happens to be running against her because, he's the son of a billionaire, so he must know how to be a mayor, right?
Know how to run a city.
So he's running against the mayor, and she's referencing this horribly low mitigation fee of $750,000, saying, quote, $750,000 is just 1.5 months of a billionaire son's allowance. It is nowhere near the scale of what we need to address the plans to deal with, the residents, traffic, all kinds of stuff. So my winner is Michelle Wu. I just like how she went right after the dumb, dopey Kraft. She doesn't care how many Super Bowls they've won. She went right after it. She's just speaking hard truth. I just loved it.
You know what? She's actually doing it at the right moment, too, because the Kraft family is out of favor because people like Belichick more than Kraft, I think, after
really? Even though he's like a creepy, like dating like a 20-year-old from Maine? He's kind of creepy.
If you're like my buddy Sully in Southie, you're like, good for fucking him. He can get a 24-year-old. Good for him. Who cares?
I love Michelle Wu. That's my winner. What do you got?
Oh, I like that proposed figure, $750,000, barely covers the median cost of a single house.
What
are
we doing? Right? $68 million for the casino. 750. I mean, these billionaires, it's outrageous. I mean, and they're just playing this a long, protracted negotiation to save them money that they should be giving back to the area.
Just pay the fucking money.
Give the fucking money.
What's the point? All right, my winner is Jamie Smith at EY, Ernst & Young.
Ernst & Young.
For writing the only other proxy review of 2025. She released a 2025 U.S. proxy review on Harvard's Corp Gov Law website that included an entire section on director votes.
Oh, because it still matters. Ernst & Young agrees.
Because apparently one other person thought the directors might matter.
I'll have to look at that.
Jamie Smith, thank you.
That's a weird, nerdy winner.
I thought I was going to make it like an asshole candidate or like a joke candidate. Yeah. And I was like, thank God she wrote a whole section about directors. I love it. So Jamie Smith, EY, thank you. What's your prediction?
My prediction, I don't know why I was thinking about this Trump thing, the Sydney Sweeney, the jeans, and I just started thinking about OJ for some reason because I was thinking of Epstein, and it got me to this weird, dumb prediction. Trump, he tries to fit into a pair of Sydney Sweeney's jeans, kind of like OJ tried to put the glove on.
Yeah, pull the glove on.
Yeah, to prove that he definitely did not know Jeffrey Epstein. That's his proof because he can't fit into her jeans. And then because of this, the American Eagle stock surges. Yay! What's your prediction? Come on,
my prediction is Duolingo will release a new language choice called manbro.
Oh, retard
in which
pussy,
teaches you how to apologize, how to be more intense, and why you should bow to your AI overlords. The apologies range from, really, this is your fault, the engagement survey dropped, and I was just being edgy. I'm sorry you didn't get it.
But will it free that banker from Greenwich, Connecticut, and let him say retard and pussy? Will it free him finally?
Well, finally he'll be liberated. Actually, what I think it will do is it will allow you to speak to that banker because you will understand the language.
Understand his language.
It's the language of manbro.
Yeah, I get it.
And then you could go up and be like, man, that company's such a pussy, right? Am I right, my retard? Right?
I love when a whole company's a pussy. I love it.
That's all we got. That's Hazelnut Rawless. I'm your analyst, Matt Muscardi. We are free.
That's all we got. That's way too much. That's a lot.
If you like that, come back next week. We're going to have 2 more shows next week. I think shareholder primacy is on one more break week. They had one this week, though, where they talked about Elon's giant $29 billion
come back to work.
But there's more to come. Until then, goodbye.